Imagine waking up day after day for a whole year and you've got just one goal. Find every single bird species you possibly can.
Hmm.
You're traveling, searching, listening, just constantly moving. It sounds like, well, an incredible mix of passion and sheer endurance.
It really is an amazing blend.
Today, you are diving deep with us into exactly that. The fascinating world of the big year.
Right.
It's this deeply personal challenge, sometimes an informal competition, where birders try to spot as many species as they can by sight or, by sound.
Within a set time, usually that calendar year,
Yeah.
and a specific place.
Exactly. It could be a state, whole country, North America, or even for the really ambitious, the entire planet.
It's pretty wild when you think about the scale.
So our mission today is to really unpack this whole thing. We'll dig into the history, meet some of the amazing record breakers.
Yeah, the ones who keep pushing what's possible.
Understand how the rules sort of evolved over time, and uncover some surprising twists like green birding. Get ready for a world of dedication, travel, and, well, birds.
What's so captivating, I think, isn't just the numbers. It's how it reflects this deep human drive to explore, connect with nature, challenge yourself.
Yeah.
It started pretty simply, but wow, it's evolved into this global thing now,
Yeah.
constantly redefining the limits.
Okay, let's get into that journey. Where did this whole idea of tallying birds even start? Because it feels like it needed something to, kick it off.
You're spot on. The big moment really was 1934. Roger Torrey Peterson publishes a field guide to the birds.
Ah, the famous Peterson Guide.
Exactly. Before that, IDing birds was much harder. You needed serious expertise, maybe access to museum collections. Peterson's guide, with its clear pictures and comparisons, it just changed everything.
It made it accessible.
Totally. It sort of democratized it. Suddenly, lots more people could realistically identify and count birds. It wasn't just a dream anymore.
So it wasn't just seeing a bird, it was knowing what it was, putting a name to it. That accessibility must have been huge. And once people could ID them, they started counting.
Pretty much, yeah. The first sort of continent-wide records started popping up. Like Guy Emerson, the businessman, back in 1939, he saw 497 species across North America.
Wow, 1939. How did he manage that?
Apparently, he cleverly timed his business trips around birding seasons. Then Bob Smart hit 515 in 1952.
That's serious dedication, especially back then. No internet, no instant alerts.
Right, and then Peterson himself, the guy who wrote the guide, he did his own big year.
Oh, really? What was that like?
That was 1953. He teamed up with James Fisher, a British ornithologist. They did this epic 30,000-mile road trip across North America, just exploring wild places.
That's 30,000 miles.
Yeah. It became the book and documentary Wild America. Peterson's total was 572 species. But it wasn't just the number, it was inspirational. It showed people what could be done.
So it kind of set the standard, lit a fire under other birders.
Exactly. It framed the big year as this grand adventure, an exploration, not just counting.
That makes sense. But as more people got into it, I imagine things got a bit messy. Like, how do you compare lists fairly?
Yeah, that became the issue. You needed rules, standardization.
Which is where the American Birding Association, the ABA, comes in. Founded in 1969.
Okay, the ABA, so they stepped in to regulate things.
Pretty much. They standardized North American big years, defined the official ABA area.
Right. What did that originally include?
It was the 49 continental U.S. states, Hawaii wasn't included back then, plus Canada, and those French islands, Saint-Pierre and Miquelon, and the nearby waters.
So finally, a level playing field.
Exactly. It brought structure, allowed for real records, direct comparisons. It also built a community around this shared challenge. It wasn't just individual quests anymore. It was like a recognized sport.
With heroes and records to chase.
You got it.
And once those rules were set, the race was really on, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Who were some of those early legends who took on this standardized challenge?
Well, building on Peterson's work, there was Stuart Keith, an Englishman. In 1956, he managed 594 species. And that record held for 15 years.
15 years? That's a long time. What broke that? Well, in 1971, you had Ted Parker. He was only 18, still in high school for part of it.
No way, an 18-year-old.
Yep. Birded the East Coast like crazy, then headed to Arizona for college. Ended up with 626 species.
Yeah.
It really showed that young guns with dedication could do it.
Amazing. But then things got really competitive, like head to head, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm thinking Ken Kaufman.
Ah, yes, 1973. That was a big one. Ken Kaufman versus Floyd Murdoch.
Yeah.
Super intense. Kaufman wrote about it in Kingbird Highway.
Classic book.
It really is. They both broke Parker's record. Murdoch just edged Kaufman out 669 species to Kaufman's 666.
Wow, that close.
Yeah. And Kingbird Highway showed everyone the strategy involved, the planning, the route finding, the sheer mental game of it all. It brought the human story out.
And the miles must have been racking up like crazy. Can you even imagine the logistics back then? No GPS, no instant weather.
It's mind-boggling. James Vardaman hit 699 species in 1979. He traveled over 161,000 miles.
Whoa. That's like 7 times around the earth.
Something like that, yeah. Mostly by car. Just incredible logistics. Then Benton Basham hit 710 in 83.
The numbers kept climbing.
They did. And the rivalries continued. 1987 had Sandy Comito hitting 722, just beating Steve Perry's 711. Bill Rydell got close in 92 with 714. These guys were pushing physical and mental limits.
It sounds all-consuming, but then came 1998. That year seems almost mythical now. The foul obsession year.
Oh, yeah. And 1998 was legendary. You had 3 top birders all going for it. Sandy Comito, Al Levantin, and Greg Miller.
The basis for the book and the movie, The Big Year.
Exactly. Markov Masick's book, then the movie. It brought the whole thing into the mainstream spotlight. Comito actually broke his own record, hitting 748. Miller got 715, Levantin 711.
So it wasn't just about the number, but the personalities, the chase.
Totally. The sacrifices, the competition, but also the weird camaraderie. It showed the world this unique mix of, well, obsession and pure joy.
Okay, so that really put it on the map. What about the modern era? How have things changed, especially with, technology? Who are the new record setters?
The modern era has seen some big shifts. In 2008, Lynn Barber was the first woman to break 700 in the ABA area with 723. That was huge.
Definitely a milestone.
Then Chris Hitt, in 2010, was the first to top 700 just within the lower 48 states, 704 species.
That's interesting, focusing just on the lower 48, a different kind of challenge.
It really is.
Yeah.
Requires deep knowledge of those specific regions. And then around 2011, things started to change fundamentally. John Vanderpool hit 743 species that year.
Okay.
But his effort is often seen as like the last big one before eBird and Facebook groups totally changed the game for finding rare birds.
Ah, the information age hits birding.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Before, you had hotlines, phone trees. Now, instant alerts, real-time sightings popping up on your phone.
That must have completely altered the strategy.
Well, big time. It changed the skill set needed, democratized the info, and just sped the whole chase up.
Yet even with tech, the personal drive is still key, right? Like Neil Hayward.
Exactly. In 2013, Neil Hayward did what he called a reluctant big year. But he still set a new ABA record, 749 species.
A reluctant record breaker.
Yeah. Showed the tech helps, but dedication, planning, passion, that it's still the core.
And then 2016 happened. That sounded like, well, chaos. Multiple people going for it at once.
2016 was nuts. You had 4 birders seriously attempting ABA big years simultaneously. Olaf Danielson, John Weigel, Christian Hagenlacher, and Laura Keene doing a photo record.
4 at once.
Yeah. Christian Hagenlacher also became the youngest to hit 700 at 27. It just showed how popular and competitive it had become. The whole birding world was watching in real time.
And the main record fell that year, too. And didn't the rules change?
Yes, big time. John Weigel, an Australian birder, broke Hayward's record in July with his 750th bird. All 4 ended up beating Hayward's total.
Wow.
But then the huge twist. In October 2016, the ABA changed the rules. They added Hawaii to the official ABA area.
Whoa, Hawaii. That adds a whole bunch of unique birds.
Absolutely. It instantly changed the game, expanded the potential total, added a massive new strategic element. How and when do you get to Hawaii for those endemics?
So overnight, a new challenge. How high did the numbers go with this new ABA?
Weigel adapted incredibly fast. He set the new record for the expanded area at 836 species. Also set records for continental ABA, 784, and the U.S., 832.
Incredible numbers.
And Olaf Danielson also adjusted, setting a new lower 48 record of 723. Laura Keene got 792 species, photographed amazing documentation.
It makes you wonder, is it always just individuals? Or do you see people tackling this together? Like partnerships?
Oh, absolutely. While it's intense individually, there's a strong community aspect. And couples have taken it on. Richard and Gayle Dean were the first married couple over 700. Then they did 3 consecutive 700-plus years.
3 years in a row over 700. That's sustained dedication.
It really is. And David and Tammy McQuaid, by 2025, hit their 7th consecutive 700-plus year. It shows how it can be a shared passion, a joint journey.
Astonishing commitment. And the overall ABA record is still John Weigel's from 2019, right?
That's correct. 840 species in 2019. Found a stellar eider that year, too. That record still stands. He really mastered the strategy.
Okay, now, something affected everyone's travel plans drastically, the pandemic.
Yeah.
How did COVID in 2020, 2021 impact big years?
Yeah, COVID threw a massive wrench in the works. Canceled trips, closed borders, very little flying. Big year birders had to get really creative.
So, more local focus, ground travel.
Exactly. Ben Sanders, just 21, managed 680 species in the lower 48 without flying at all.
Wow, no planes.
And Jeremy Dominguez set a new lower 48 record in 2020 with 724 species. Showed that adaptability could still lead to big numbers, even with huge constraints. He got to redefine the local big year for a while.
Resourcefulness became the name of the game. Did women keep pushing the records during this time, too?
Definitely. Tiffany Kirsten set a new contiguous 48 states record in 2021, 726 species. That's incredible given the lingering issues.
Paving the way.
For sure. And just this year, 2024, Ezekiel Dobson, only 19 years old, became the first under 20 to hit 700 in the contiguous 48, setting a new record of 759.
Fantastic. Great to see young birders making such an impact.
Yeah, the passion clearly continues across generations.
So we've covered North America pretty well. But what about the ultimate challenge? A world big year. That just sounds monumental.
It is the absolute pinnacle. The world record really took off in 2008 with Alan Davies and Ruth Miller, a British couple. They saw 4,341 species.
Almost 4,500 birds.
Then in 2015, Noah Stryker, an American, went for it. Meticulous planning across 7 continents. He broke their record in India.
With what bird?
A Sri Lanka frogmouth.
Hey.
That was number 4,342. He finished the year with 6,042 species.
6,000? That seems almost unbelievable. Surely that's the limit.
You'd think, but no. In 2016, Arjen Dorshuis from the Netherlands launched his attempt. His planning and stamina were just off the charts.
He broke Stryker's record.
He did. In November 2016, with a Tody Motmot in Panama, he finished the year with, 6,852 species. That's the current world record.
Almost 7,000 species. The logistics alone must be insane.
Astronomical. International travel, permits, local guides, understanding migration on a global scale. Just a whole different level.
And you mentioned complexities with different bird checklists for these global efforts.
Yeah, that's another wrinkle. Different scientific bodies, like the IOC or Clements, have slightly different lists. One might split a species into 2, while another lumps them. So world listers usually specify which checklist they followed.
Makes sense for comparison.
And importantly, doing a world big year involves huge costs and, well, a significant carbon footprint from all the flying.
Right. That's a big environmental concern.
It is, which has led many world birders now to try and get sponsorships and, crucially, to offset their carbon emissions. It ties into this growing awareness about sustainable birding.
That's a perfect segue. All that travel. It does raise questions. So tell me about the green big year. This sounds like a really conscientious approach.
It's a really important evolution, I think. Traditional big years, especially the global ones, got criticism for their environmental impact. Understandably so.
How those flights.
Exactly. So green, or alternative big years, emerged. The goal isn't just to see birds with less impact, but actively raise awareness. Show you can be passionate about birding in the environment. Challenge that idea you have to fly everywhere.
I really like that. Pursuing passion responsibly. Are there some standout examples of these green journeys?
Oh, some truly inspiring ones. Chris Mills in the UK, back in 2005, saw 251 species entirely by bike.
Just cycling. Wow.
Then in 2007, Malcolm Boothroyd, a teenager then, did it with his parents. No fossil fuels. They biked over 13,000 miles across North America.
13,000 miles on bikes. How many birds?
548 species, and they raised $25,000 for conservation too, directly linking the effort to helping birds.
That's incredible. They're athletes as much as birders.
Pretty much. And then there's Dorian Anderson in 2014. His continent-wide green year was extreme.
What did he do?
Bicycled nearly 18,000 miles across the U.S., saw 618 species, all self-powered, raised almost $50,000 for habitat conservation. Get this, he even got hit by a car during the trip and kept going. Talk about commitment to the cause, personal risk and all.
Unbelievable dedication. And what about outside North America? Any international green efforts?
Yes. In 2021, Niggy Carrera-Levy and Mauricio Osa did a big year in Colombia.
Colombia, isn't that the country with the most bird species?
It is. They recorded 1,471 species, traveling mostly by ground over nearly 22,000 miles.
Incredible total for a green year.
And they built in this powerful conservation message. They engaged almost 800 local kids as guardians of the birds, turned their personal quest into community action.
That's fantastic, using the big year for education and advocacy.
Yeah, it shows how it can be more than just a list. It can be a vehicle for positive change.
It's just fascinating, isn't it? How this started with just wanting to identify birds, became this intense competition, and now it's evolving again, incorporating conservation, adapting to environmental awareness.
It really mirrors our own changing relationship with nature, I think, moving from just observing to engaging more responsibly.
So we've covered a lot, from Peterson's Guide kicking things off to these global record-smashing pursuits, and now the rise of green birding. It's this amazing mix of personal challenge, scientific data gathering, and increasingly conservation awareness.
A really rich history and a dynamic present.
So as this pursuit keeps pushing limits human endurance, planning our knowledge of birds, it leaves you, our listener, with something to think about. What can these extreme efforts teach us? Not just about birds, but maybe about our own potential for passion, the power of community, how we use technology, and ultimately our connection and responsibility to the natural world.